Well, there you go. That is a very special national trophy. My first national for the best pork sausage in Australia. That got me sausages. I supplied the Antarctica division for many years. I'd make a ton at a time. My kids would help me pack them up, and sometimes I'd have a staff member help me link the sausages. That was my, second national win, and that was for the best gourmet sausage in Australia, and that was for the best butcher's burger in Australia, national. So I've won 3 national titles, have a trophy cabinet downstairs full of gold trophies, but I did leave all the butchers like state medals and regional medals up in the butcher shop at West Hobart when I sold West Hobart Gourmet Meats. And look, they call me Sauce King, and everyone calls me Sauce because I was so passionate, and without being big-headed, I was probably, if you go into my butcher shop or even look on Facebook and scroll past the new butchers and see all the trophies in my shop. The whole butcher shop was the size of this house, the front of the shop, and it was lined with trophies. And it's not like entering a pie competition, the Sausage King. The Sausage King, you have to win like against many other butchers in the south of the state. And then if you win in the south, you then go to a state level, which you might be competing against another 60 or 70 sausages in each category. So you've got to win at a state level to get you to the nationals. So you just can't enter the nationals. You have to go through the whole process. And by the time you got to the nationals, all the butchers in Australia have entered. So there's probably, 5 or 6, 7,000 sausages to have the 5 or 6 best sausages in the state, in Australia. And like I said, I've won that 3 times. And yeah, it is a big achievement, and I am very proud. And like they call me Sauce King. I feel a bit better now. I've got out of the attire, the hiking attire, and had a shit shower and a shave. Missed a shave, missed a shit, didn't need it. But that's got to be for hiking, so you don't need to shave while you're out there. So always grow a little one just before I go away on the hike, and then probably shave it off when I get back. But I'm actually getting used to it. I like it. I like not shaving. So yeah, I actually put even these have changed. Back in the old days, we used to have the round pouch with a rubber in the bottom. So sometimes you drop your knife in and little bits of meat get stuck on the bottom. They were quite unhygienic, whereas now anything will fall through. So, that's a lot better. And even the curry is still like that, like I said before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nearly cut my neck then. But that one, I'm not used to it. I only bought that pouch when I left. I thought I might do a little bit of a hand here or there, just have a nice shot, but I can't do that because of my back. So anyway, so I just thought I'd follow up to let you know who I am, and check me out on West Hobart Gourmet Meats. Go to the photo section and scroll down till you come to me. If you want to look at all the awards I won, how passionate I was with my business, I am proud of what I achieved. I think I am the most awarded butcher in Australia. I couldn't have gone any further with awards. I didn't want to enter anymore because I was giving someone else a chance to win, because literally I'd had enough of the travel to all the competitions and the nervousness of the competitions. I was happy with my 3 national wins and all the seconds and thirds. Every time I got to a national, I received a first, second or third. So, that was pretty special. But it took me a long time to learn how to make my product to be worthy of national standards and, a national win. And look, there's a lot of heartbreak, a lot of tears, a lot of trial and error. I don't know how many times I bring my sausages home and make the kids and their boy friends and girlfriends taste the sausages and get an insight to exactly what I would, add more of this, put more feta in that, put more pumpkin in that, so I was the original gourmet sausage maker. And like even my dad, who's been butchering now, like he's still in his shop working at 83. He entered the Sausage King many times, and he got to the state, to the regionals, and won a state in, I think, a burger, which back then there wasn't the National Butchers Burger competition. But just going back to the sharpening of the knives, because like I said before, all the tea in China, if your knife's screwed from years of abuse in the kitchen, you need to take professionals who will put it on a proper wheel and grind it back and get an edge on it, but they're never the same. And once your metal starts wearing away, your knife still starts wearing away, your knife will never really be the same. That's why these knives will last me the rest of my life. I would not have to put them on the stone there. I'm going to give you a little insight to the stone as well. That's something that is important to keep a knife in good nick. If you're in a general sort of household which, you know, abuses their knives on wooden cutting boards, even plastic cutting boards are really hard on your knives. So there's no real way to look after a knife in the kitchen, because it's going to get used, it's going to get abused, and you need to be a professional. And I was a professional at my game. Like I said, I don't think any butcher has got to the level I got with all the awards. Like I said, my shop was lined in trophies. In the end, sometimes I go to a competition. A couple of times there were 6 divisions, and a couple of times I pulled off the 5 of the 6. You know, your pork, your beef, your gourmet, your poultry, your lamb. And, you know, I just used to do it well. And I think I'm going to start making YouTube and TikTok sausage making classes to give people the idea how to make a good sausage at home, how to make it properly, how to bind it properly, and how to use natural skins, not synthetic skins. Natural hog or sheep gut is the only way to make a real sausage. And they're so expensive now. So many butchers have gone to the other sausage, but I will say to the collagen casings, I will say the butcher up at Shoreline and my dad at Gilston Bay, at Monday's Meat Supply Gilston Bay, and the Shoreline butcher, Jay, Dad and Grand still use natural casings, and that's really good. So they're still cheaper than the supermarket. People don't, look, you're buying 500 grams, look at the price per kilogram. It's sometimes over $22, $23 a kilo. A good butcher sausage will cost you about $17 a kilo now, and they're worth every penny of it, because the meat in there is as good as mincemeat. The only fat that you put in there, you have to put a bit of fat, otherwise the sausage will be that dry, you won't be able to eat it. It'll be dry, like as dry as a nun's, you know what. A nun's nasty. So yeah, I drank beer out of that the night we won. Another guy in South Australia, Matty, he actually won the beef that night, I won the pork. And we drank out of these all night and it was fine. In 2013, when I ran my fastest Boston Marathon, that was when I, in Western Australia, won the best gourmet sausage in Australia for the Worcestershire and cracked pepper that became so famous and mass-produced by companies that sort of copied the name. But yeah, so I drank out of that. The difference is, a little Boston sticker, the difference is drinking out of that real good one. See that? Still nice and goldish in there. Drink out of this bastard for a night, and Matthew won again that night, won one of the divisions. Look at that. Brown as Ernie Dingo's you know what. But I'm Aboriginal descendant, so I'm allowed to say Aboriginal jokes. I'm a bit of a black fella. So yeah, so now, all right, on to the sharpening. And to start sharpening, you need a good rubstone. Depending on the grade, you've got a 4000, but I think I'm going to swap it over for that one that's a little bit easier. And these things move around, so you want a good wet tea towel. You know, got to have a wet, damp tea towel. A little bit of soap and water, just enough to lubricate. Probably could do with a little bit of soap on that actually. Has been used for a while, so it's sucking in all that water. So yeah, just a little bit of dishwashing liquid. God, that's seized up like a you-know-what too. So yeah, so now I've got that on there. I'll put it there so you can sort of see. I'll probably do a better upload of this and set up my tripod. But bear with me. So yeah, so now you give it that little bit of a, give it nice and smooth, you know, lube it up nicely. That's nice and lubed.